Oh, hello. It's been a hot minute. And in that hot minute, I played the 2009 Bakugan video game. Yeah, that's really what I did in that time.
Bakugan, I think it's wrong if you think I'm dumb, it's Bakugan.
Talking about these little puppies. Alright. Bakugan Battle Brawlers was released on the 20th of October, all the way back in 2009. What was I? I was like 38. Developed by Ubisoft and published by Activision. The game was... It was okay. It was a okay game. Especially if you enjoy doing the same shit over and over. I need to get this off my chest, right? I have to explain my interesting experience with this game, okay? The experience I had, not in the past when I first played the game as a child, you know, being 38 years old, but the experience I had trying to play this game and record it for maybe a month or two. I didn't want to play this with like rose-tinted glasses and full effect, and don't you worry, that shit was not a problem after the hassle I had setting this motherfucker up. I didn't want to emulate the game. I had a PS3 with a working copy of the game. Had being the key word here. All I had to do was plug in my Elgato and record. Easy as that. I've had the Elgato since like 2017. It's flawless, it works. I got it to record Bakugan at the time, believe it or not. But I decided to make the stupidest mistake of my life. I thought it would be best to update the game. Make sure all the bugs are out, all the, they're all squashed and the game is in this prime, condition for me to play and it was all ready. And in order to update the Bakugan game, I had to update my PS3. No biggie. Big biggie. This is what happened. My console got stuck in an update loop. Frantically, I googled the problem. Turns out some battery on the motherboard. Fucking dead. So, shit's fucked. RIP PS3. So instead of dealing with that obstacle, I just procrastinated for a couple weeks until I finally borrowed a friend of mine's PS3. All is good. Or, all should be good. But it wasn't. Due to Sony's stupid anti-piracy,
what if they're recording a movie with a capture device
protocol, you're blocked from recording via HDMI. Epic. Very cool. Love that. So I tried passing the signal through an HDMI splitter. No dice. Luckily I have an older Elgato allowing me to record via component video. Turns out I didn't have any of the cables for that, so I had to order some. About a week goes by, cables arrive. I decide to get to it, plug in the cables, plug in the Elgato. The quality's trash. Dog shit, unwatchable, and unplayable. I even tried using the HDMI upscaler to only marginally better results. So I came to the only logical conclusion. I bought a pre-owned Xbox 360 and another copy of the game. This took a couple of weeks. Never owned a 360 before, so that was kinda cool. And wow, even after all these years, the internet still works on it. Sony, what were you doing during this time? I tested the recording with a little Red Dead. Oh, mate, flawless, like a dream. Put in my copy of Bakugan. The disc doesn't work. The seller sold me a fucking dud. They claimed it was fully tested and working. I guess it just somehow doesn't work for me. I suppose. I don't fucking know. After another week, I got a refund and proceeded to buy another copy. Another week passes, and it arrives. And guess what? It worked. It fucking worked. Everything was finally coming up Millhouse. Only after a couple of weeks and a few $100s, I was ready to play the game. So let's talk about it. Alright, so in the game you play as a dude. Not like gender neutral dude. I mean, you play as a dude. You get no choice in the matter. You, the player, must be male because girls don't play Bakugan. They're far too busy with their Bratz Forever Diamonds to care. Absolute banger of a game, by the way. You can customize your male player character to a pretty decent degree. Choose your attribute and all that. Interesting tidbit, when I first played this game as a kid, I played it on the PS2 version. And on the PS2, you couldn't select the nose, because your character didn't have one. The console just wasn't strong enough for you to have a nose. Not like you see it most of the time on the newer console anyway. This is you now. This character, that's the personification of you in the Bakugan world. The game begins, it starts with you pretty much meeting Dan. He's sort of an epic gamer. He's only like the main character of the show of the same name, Bakugan. But he's not the main character in this game. No, you are.
Whoa!
After learning the basics of the gameplay from him, aka everything the game has to offer to you, you receive your own unique Bakugan with voice acting. It's only fitting because every main character in the show has a Bakugan with a personality because they're cool. Except for Julie. She just straight up has a mute. I'm sorry, Jules. Your Bakugan's name is Leonidas. He looks cool if you choose the Darkus attribute, but literally terrible in every other attribute. Okay, Chaos looks okay. But that's it. The other ones look crap. Leonidas is from the Doom Dimension. Self-explanatory name? It's a bad joint. I quote the wiki, Leonidas is an unknown and aggressive Bakugan that was created by all the hate and anger of the lost Bakugan trapped in the Doom Dimension. Radical. So he's not a happy chappy.
I will crush them.
What's the deal?
Being a game for children, that's clearly going to change. It's a kid's game, there's going to be some message about changing for the better. After a couple of battles, you enter a few tournaments and absolutely just wipe the floor with the world's best Bakugan players. Yet you're still like ranked 900, despite beating fucking number 3 or 5 or whatever. You then meet your rival, an OC character created purely for this game. His name is Marduk. Duck. I don't remember. It's been months since I played this game. Alright, his design is fairly cool. Kinda looks like a member of the Sims 3 goth family. Marduk, much like the player, has his own OC Bakugan, named Vladator, whose desire is to rule over all Bakugan. Like Leonidas, Vladator is also from the Doom Dimension, but Vladator broke out. Leonidas just sorta came out. Not too sure how really, I don't think they really talk about it. Just ignore that part. Now that's the gist of it without getting into spoilers, like you care. Basically, save the world and defeat Vladator. Just the kind of basic plot to one of these types of games. You know, the world is at stake kind of games. Or more of, the world is at stake kind of kids game, so bad guys will redeem themselves. Now the gameplay, it's fun, okay? Fun for the first battle. After that, it just becomes 10 hours of the same thing.
Bakugan, stand!
Bakugan stand! Bakugan stand! Bakugan stand!
Bakugan, stand!
Bakugan stand!
To win a battle, you must defeat your opponent or opponents by having a higher G power than them. You can upgrade your Bakugan to have a higher G power in the shop, you can fly around the varying arenas to pick up G power boosters, you can use ability card to activate. Oh, and the actual battle has 3 different minigames that, if you win during them, can drastically alter the outcome of each person's G power. The minigames have 3 levels of difficulty that increase the further you get into the game, but the minigames roughly stay the exact same. You rarely lose. Once you beat them, we're gonna edit in the part where I get really fucking furious at the game. Oh. Don't you dare do any more, that's just insult to injury. Be timing. Power. Okay, I've got to go all out in this power battle. It's an all out fucking struggle. Here we go, here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, boys. Come on. Easy dubs. Come on, come on. No, no, no. No, no, no. No! 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 I f***ed up! That would have been I would have got so many fucking bonus battle points then. No! It's literally the worst combination of things I could have gotten. Fucking shooting battle and his goddamn card. Oh, you rarely lose. Once you beat them in battle, you get to keep the gate card you landed on. Oh, and gate cards also affect your G-Power before the battle, take notes. Once you have 3 gate cards, you win the match. Pretty simple, rinse and repeat, for 10 hours. There isn't too much else to do in this game, especially once you finish the story. You can battle whoever you want in whatever arena you want, but it's trivial. Now, winning battles give you battle points, but once the story's finished, all you're really left to do is upgrade your Bakugan to like their highest G-Power and buy all the cards, and you might get an achievement or something. I don't know, I'm not one of those guys who chase after achievements. I wish you could hear my thoughts on that. Go check that out, by the way. It's a video. Certainly it is. It's certainly a video I've made. Battle points can be spent at the Bakugan shop, and like I mentioned earlier, you can upgrade Bakugan you already own and buy new ability cards and gate cards, but you can also buy new Bakugan. On the map, there's a map, by the way. It's sort of a map. It's a menu disguised as a map. There's like 4 options, and one of those options there, other than arena, battling, shop, the 4th one is your room. It's your bedroom. You have your own room. Pretty baller. You can't customize it, but you have your own room. You can change your clothes.
I should change my clothes.
You can edit your deck, save your progress, and get tips from the main characters of the show. Alright, back to battling. Here's the full list of people you can battle. Dan, Runo, Marucho, Shun, Julie, Masquerade, technically Alice, but let's not get into that. Show spoilers. Marduk, Billy, Klaus, Komba, Chanli, Julio, Shuji, Akira, Jenny, and Jules. Sweet, sweet Jules.
Hey, I'm Jules.
Honestly, there's quite a lot of variety in who you can battle. at least when it comes down to design, because these characters, despite having a few different designs and Bakugan, they're all pretty much the same except for the attributes and gate cards. You can either play a one-on-one, a 2v2, or a battle royale 4-man free-for-all. For some reason, the announcer doesn't use the opponent's name during the battles, it's always
CPU 2's turn.
If you decide to view a CPU's throw instead of being impatient and skipping it, you have the option to try and dictate where their Bakugan lands. You get to shoot the Bakugan. The 3 minigames. For power battles, you just put your whole hand on the controller and frantically move it left to right or up and down, whatever the game tells you to do, just go crazy with it. Do a circle motion, it'll be fun. Timing battles. Just like in the Series of Unfortunate Events game, you just time what button to press with the little icon. Very hard to lose. Shooting battle. This one I kind of really fucking hate. You have to shoot your attribute symbol. Sounds simple enough. Well, it can actually get rather tricky, especially when it's hard to tell what icon you currently have selected. Now, I only found this out when researching after I played the game, but the minigame you get is predetermined by the color of the gate card you are battling on. Kinda wish I knew that. Gold gate cards give you a shooting battle, silver for the timing battle, and copper for power battles. This game actually has very few mechanics, which unfortunately makes it really dull. I found myself, even when only playing 1 hour intervals, getting kind of pretty bored, okay? I got pretty bored at times, which is only so evident to me now as I'm not a kid anymore. I'm no longer 38. No, when I was 38, back in 2009, I loved this game. Now, I played it after school every night for weeks, just maxing out all the Bakugan and collecting all the cards. So I want to get back to that feeling of enjoying Bakugan. That feeling of excitement and happiness of coming home from school every day and playing this game and seeing Bakugan. So, to get that feeling, I'm just going to look at the actual Bakugan I had. Oh, nostalgia. Look at that right there. You just love to see it. Alright. Get this on the thing. That's a Bionicle. These bad boys... Oh, childhood, what can I say? They had a few fakes you'd get at like the cheap $2 stores, which a couple of these were, but I'm just gonna go through all my Bakugan. And this is what I'm talking about. This is it. Who have we got? Who have we got here? I got this giant off one. It's a bit dusty. Hang on. Oh, that's filthy. There's the battle points. This one I never really liked. I had 2 of them. Don't actually know what happened to the second one. Is gone to the Shadow Realm. Okay, let's talk about the ones I actually really liked, shall we? Bakugan. Fuck. Go. Look at that. Just wow. Let me set up some gate cards and I'll show you what I'm talking about. What's it say? Ba1 boy. Ba1 boy. Oh, the perfect amount. That's a B2 right there. Yeah. And I had that one which like combined to make that huge one, which I can't be doing, so there it is. Yeah, needless to say I had a few Bakugan. And yeah, look, check this out. I had this little jigger. Bakugan, bro! He's just a bit shy. So yeah, I have some favorites. This is probably my favorite one overall. He just looks pretty fucking sick. How can you not like that? Oh, and my rating for the game? 50. Sure. That could be 50 out of 100, out of 1000, out of 25. Who cares? The best time you could have playing this game now would be with your mates. Like, have a couple of your friends over, have a few cheeky bevies, and maybe just start talking about the joy Bakugan brought you guys as kids, as a group. You'd have a great time. In that very specific light, under that very specific circumstance, the Bakugan game would be a great, if not perfect time. But any other time, it's not, so. At least 5 years I've wanted to talk about the Bakugan game to some degree in some capacity, and now I finally done it. I finally made it. Thank you. If you've made it this far, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long. I'm stoked to be editing and doing shit again. I don't know, consider subscribing, liking. I don't think I ask for those usually, so hey, Oh, come on. I mean, look at that. It's a button. And check this out over here. I've made a second channel called InGoodNick. So on this channel, I'm going to be uploading the condensed experience I had playing the Bakugan game, like all my commentary and stuff throughout it. And I get angry. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. But thank you. This is awesome. I'm InGoodNick and I'm back. Thanks for watching.
InGoodNick.
That's why I taped it up. It was already snapped in the middle, yeah. That's the hard drive there that I tried to take out and fix. Brokey.